He would call his nanny Pisces Flyer when he was done here. Some sort of costume party going on at the time, Rojas continued. Like a hide-and-seek sort of thing. Around 40 guests, some security people, and maybe 15 or so maids, chefs, etc., all Synthates. So far, they've been a little hesitant to talk to us. But their bioprints are all pretty calm. Oceans, rainbows, shit like that. I think we can eliminate them as suspects. Maybe. Lot of Synthates learning to control their bioprints, though, Arden said. I say we just pin it on a Synthate and call it case closed. Sanders looked bored. Grab one of the usual suspects. For many in the squad, that had been an easy way to close open cases. Grab a Synthate with a record and pin whatever had gone down on him or her. The department wanted homicides solved, and Synthates couldn't defend themselves. You just had to pick one up, call the crushers, and throw some evidence around. Worked for everyone. Except, of course, in high-profile cases, when the public inconveniently demanded the real killers be brought to justice. The elevator doors opened to a floor crowded with more uniforms. The trio walked down a long hallway that ended in a luxurious private library. The room had 20-foot-high ceilings, a gilded fireplace on one wall, and a chandelier the size of Arden's kitchen table. Windows looked down on Central Park, the abandoned zoo visible through the dome, rusting and overgrown. A gorgeous brunette natural in a tight calfskin dress with a feather in her hair sat crying in the corner of the room, being comforted by a man in a tri-cornered hat and breeches. Who's she? Arden asked. Sanders snapped his fingers and pointed at the girl. Pocahontas next to Napoleon. Rojas shook his head. No, you're way off. It's Sacagawea and Thomas Jefferson. No, I meant who is she? What's she doing here? Oh, Rojas responded. Synthate found the bodies initially, but these two were the first naturals afterward. She and Betty Boop were hiding in the study next door. Thomas Jefferson is... Napoleon, Sanders interrupted. Whoever. Rojas looked annoyed. That's her husband. He was in the billiard room at the time. See anything? Aside from the two dead bodies? Nah, she didn't see anything. Arden studied the room. Opposite a wall with a grandfather clock, broken glass lined the floor. A smaller room was also visible, recessed from the library. Looks like our two victims were in some sort of concealed back bedroom. Apparently there was a mirror with one-way glass on the bedroom side. It opened with a remote. Rojas raised his eyebrows. Whatever that was about. Anyway, the two victims were found inside there. Some shell casings. Looks like some shots were fired. No weapon recovered, though. Help yourself. The Evidence Collection Team, or ECT, was already on scene. One of the officers crouched down as he placed a yellow marker over what appeared to be a shell casing on the floor. I suggest it was Colonel Mustard in the library with the revolver, Sanders said as they stepped over the broken glass and into the once-hidden bedroom. The bed's comforter was pulled back and bloodied red. The body of a man in surgical scrubs lay sprawled face down on the floor. On the bed was a woman dressed as an angel. Detectives Arden and Sanders, Rojas said. Meet Dr. and Mrs. Reynolds. Doctor? Yeah, Dr. Reynolds. Had a Genico lab identification card in his pocket. What did he do over there? Rojas grimaced and looked at his shoes. What? Arden asked. What's with the glum look? Synthate design work. He was also in charge of the Black Rain program. Oh. Arden exhaled, then scuffed the ground with his shoe. Well, I guess this guy won't be coming up with a cure anytime soon. Inside, he felt familiar disappointment take hold of his chest, like some predatory bird digging into his heart with talons. Arden looked away from the crime scene.